interculturality has become a by and has recently been successfully opened up to EUGLOH as a whole.
The Let's Talk course aims to raise intercultural awareness and to help students communicate across cultures.
So let's see how some of the students, led by Sheila Ducrot from the Faculty of Science in Orsay, explore the visible and hidden aspects of culture which make up the group's similarities and differences. If you have any questions during the roundtable, simply click on the left-hand screen in the auditorium and type your question.
Yes, feel free to ask any questions.
Okay, I don't know, when do we start?
Isn't there a queue in by someone?
I don't know. Okay, I can't hear anything. I could hear Susie.
Sheila, it's up to you now. We're ready for you, Sheila.
Okay, can you see me then? Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. Today we're going to talk about intercultural communication. So what is intercultural communication? The focus of intercultural communication on how collective worldviews interact across cultural contexts. In other words, how people of different cultures jointly make meaning. Being aware of normative behavioral patterns in cultures helps us to understand how people react and interact with each other. This helps us understand how people from other cultures behave, and understanding is necessary for cooperation. Without understanding, enduring cooperation is almost impossible. So, understanding leads to acceptance and inclusion. These are values all of the participants of this project share, and these are the values that motivated us to set up this project. Now I would like to share a short presentation with you. I hope everybody can see my PowerPoint. So this project is called the Let's Talk Project, How European University Students See the World. There were 4 participating professors, 2 from Paris-Saclay and 2 from Szeged, Kurti, Tomasz, and Lotzi. And we had 56 students from Paris-Saclay, 3rd-year undergraduates in biology, ecology, and environment, and 2nd-year undergraduates in physics. And we also had some master's students in teaching. The native languages from Paris-Saclay were mainly French, Arabic, Pell, and English. And we had students from France, Algeria, Mauritania, and the UK. From Szeged, we had a large variety of nationalities: Hungarian, Russian, Romanian, Serbian, Arabic, Spanish, Portuguese, Turkish, Persian. And the students were studying very different things, law or international relations, history, and so on. We also had a version of this project in a professional context with 4 participating professors, 2 from Paris-Saclay, Isabelle and Jean-François, and Marta and Liliana from Porto. These students were studying ergonomics, and they were in their first year of a master's course. And in Porto, they were following a master's course in psychology. And we adapted this project to their professional context. So what did the project consist of? The objective was to sensitize students to intercultural communication, learning to communicate across cultures, and students who completed the course obtained a certificate of intercultural competence in compliance with the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. We had between 10 to 12 weeks of face-to-face teaching, and the students had 6 to 7 video conferences, about an hour a week in small groups, and we mixed up the different university students. Concerning the content, they had to compare differences and similarities of both the hidden and visible sides of culture. They had to learn how to work together. They had to analyze differences and similarities and also self-reflect. They wrote a report on each video conference. They were involved in a joint project, a product that shows certain concepts of culture in the student group. And they had to create a collage showing the common values in each group. Concerning the professional version of the Let's Talk project, they had to create their ideal company, hospital, or other European institution. And I'd like to focus on the word ideal. So we looked at the concept of culture, of identity. We looked at the neuroscience of prejudice and stereotypes. We looked at the theory of cultural value dimensions, conflict management, language mitigations. The students also participated in 2 seminars, which were open to all EUGLOH students and staff. One concerning intercultural communication and biodiversity, and the other about the value orientation method. The student video conferences dealt with stereotypes in the culture of the other, the visible side of culture, art, monuments, history, music, literature, heroes of the past and present, and their role in national identity. And they also discussed cultural dimensions that were proposed. There were 20 different themes that were proposed, covering science, education, language, religion, and many others. And they had to compare similarities and differences. I would now like to show you some examples of the joint projects, the productions of our students that we are very proud of. We had, for example, an international cookery book with the history and the culture behind the recipes. We had several tourist guides with personal tourist guides, again with traditions and rituals attached to those tourist spots. One group created a website to test your tolerance, and some articles about the different cultural dimensions and how we deal with, how we become more tolerant. Another group wrote stories, and these stories were translated into 4 different languages of their group plus English, and each story illustrated a value or values. Another group selected songs from popular culture and explained their cultural relevance in a YouTube video. Again, we had another group who created a comic book. Their road trip went to France, Algeria, and Kenya, and compared the different cultural aspects of this road trip. And I would like to quote from a story written by two undergraduate physics students from Paris-Saclay and University of Szeged. The story they wrote is called The Path, and this is the final paragraph. What is real or not is pretty much out of our reach. We should always take the time to listen to other people's stories and beliefs, no matter how distant we think we are. The nature of life makes us all go through similar difficulties, and there is no single way of overcoming them. Those different perspectives expand our minds. They are gifts and reminders that we are not alone on this planet. I would like to show you an example of a collage made by a group, and some of the values, the shared values, our students collected. These are sharing, kindness, being open-minded, respect for difference, national pride, freedom of speech, arts, equality, tolerance, ecology, unity in diversity, education, and of course, COVID and anxiety. To conclude, I would like to share some quotes from our students. One by Miriam, second-year physics students at Paris-Saclay, who said, "This class was a safe place to go to during the pandemic." Or from Linda from Szeged, "It was a delightful conversation and I'm grateful that I can chat with these amazing guys from France." Paul, second-year physics students at Paris-Saclay, "I'm really happy to be part of this enriching exchange and to discover another country, including some aspects of its culture." And to finish, I would like to quote André Malraux, former Minister of Culture and author, "Culture is what made man more than just an accident of nature." And I'm pleased to say that the adventure will continue in 2021 and 2022 with colleagues from Ludwig Maximilian University in Munich, who will also join this program. Thank you very much for listening. And now I will hand the floor to Lotzi, who will start the roundtable discussion.
Thank you very much, Sheila, for this amazing summary, because you have summarized a one-year-long endeavor along with a lot of stuff in just 10 short minutes. And I think you were pretty thorough, if I might add. So to start the roundtable meeting, first, I'm going to ask some questions that we have come up with, that we have found that maybe were interesting enough for everyone to hear about. And at first, I would like to ask the students to answer these questions. So the first question that I would like to ask is, I think the simplest. What attracted you to this project initially? Why did you decide to join in? So, some students.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, just go ahead, Celeste. Go ahead.
Oh. Okay. Well, my name is Celeste, and well, first I was scared of working with strangers. And it's scary for me to talk to people in English when I knew that they weren't talking French and next to that. And I wanted to, well, break my break an obstacle and just and were well from Hungary or other countries. And I realized that it was an opportunity and I had to do it to improve myself.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Someone?
I'd like to share my personal view. So I'm Shaya. I'm a second-year undergraduate student in Paris-Saclay. I'm majoring in physics. So the thing that attracted me initially in this course was simply the title, Let's Talk Program, Raising Awareness, Intercultural Awareness. So the idea of having a simple talk from and getting the opportunity to understand others' culture just by having a simple talk with people, native people, was really exciting for me. That's why I chose it.
Okay, thank you, Shaya. Anyone else?
Hi. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So for me, this course gave that, because I'm a correspondence student, it gave me an opportunity to talk with international students and to get to know their culture and to get to know them. And it gave me the opportunity to practice the language and this foreign opportunity, which for us, for the correspondence students, is very limited, unfortunately. But this course was really, I think so. It was really delightful for me, and it gave me a value, or I don't know. So. And I don't know, so I'm a third-year student, so I probably will finish in June, but if in the master, if for my master's years, if there is an opportunity to take part in this international relationships or these meetings, then I will be really glad for that.
Thank you. We are glad to hear it. Okay.
Anybody else?
Yes. So hello, my name is Alexandre. I'm a second-year physics student, and for what attracted me to this project, it really was the opportunity to really deeply understand other cultures, to see what makes a difference between one culture and another, and to really see it from not only my perspective as a student talking to other students, but also the course. So I don't know if it's the right word, but maybe a more scientific view of the cultural differences, and yeah, I thought maybe I could understand my culture more if I understood other cultures. So yeah, it's what attracted me to this course.
Thank you. Yeah, Linda, go ahead.
Yes, and I would like to add that in this pandemic situation, it was also really helpful, I think, for each other to talk about with each other and share our experience about this online education and how we live in this current situation. So this gave another impulse to this.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, yes, that is a quite good point. In the current situation worldwide, this could be helpful. Absolutely. Okay, maybe any one of the teachers care to join in?
Well, so what attracted me in this project was well, as an Indian born and married to a Frenchman, and I've lived in France for the past 25 years. So I have always been aware of different ways of thinking, different ways of doing things, different ways of perception. And well, cultural diversity has always been part of my life, but it really got accentuated through my cross-cultural marriage first. And I started to give it a serious thought when my daughter was born. Because raising, disciplining, and educating our child with different viewpoints was certainly challenging, but it was certainly very intellectually stimulating. So while designing this course, Let's Talk, through a great deal of research, well, I realized that I could finally label or name, my own personal experiences with, with some scientific, as Alexandre put it, notions and concepts. And that was indeed what I was looking for in order to share my own experiences with others. And this project was indeed a wonderful opportunity.
Okay, thank you, Kirti. Anyone else?
Yes, I would just like to say that for me, creating this project and learning a lot about cultural differences helped me personally to understand how France works, how we do meetings in France. And it just made me more peaceful towards all the differences that I had experienced when living in 3 different continents, and I would say 5 different cultures, because I also lived in communist Hungary. So I strongly believe that by being aware of these differences, we learn to accept other people. And we learn to include other people. And for me, acceptance and inclusions are really very important values. And that was what motivated me throughout the setting up phase of this project.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we were pretty thorough regarding this question, so maybe we should skip to the next one. The next question would be, why did you decide to collaborate or participate in this program? Again, first, I would like to ask the students if they had anything to add. Yeah, sure, go ahead. Shaya?
So, last semester, our teacher, Chila, introduced the course to us. So what made me really take the decision to participate in this project is that basically the aim of the project is to raise intercultural communication. And we even have like some sort of a crash course in anthropological sciences and the human sciences and sociology. And this enables me, as also it differs from other scientific science courses like physics or math. Like she really explained to us that you need to express yourself freely, express what you are. There is no wrong or right answer in the discussions, and we're only here to have a simple talk. And at first I was a bit skeptical about it because I thought that people would be waiting to talk from students from a French background. I told the teacher that I'm not here to, because I'm not a French citizen, I'm an Algerian one. And she reassured me that actually I can present my culture freely, and on the contrary, she encourages intercultural diversity.
Thank you very much. Okay, someone else from our circles of students want anything to add? Okay, if not,
yes.
then maybe, yeah, sure, go ahead.
I need to say that I gain confidence Sorry, can you hear me? Yes.
Okay, please continue.
I was just saying that I'd like to say that I gained confidence from this project. I learned to work with a multicultural team who quickly become a team of friends, finally. We shared our tradition and our jokes, our problem and our joy. And we learned about each other's cultures and tradition and food and everything else. And it was really, really enriching. And I'm very happy to have met those people.
Well, I'm very glad to hear this, because basically that would be the aim of this course. So if nothing else, at least we were successful, at least in one case. Okay, anyone else or some of the teachers would want to join in?
Yeah, actually, I like to join, since probably I'm the only teacher who haven't talked yet. So first of all, why I decided to collaborate, that I was extremely curious, because, you know, I'm a lawyer, and people has a general assumption of lawyers, and they do not do anything else but focusing on books and laws, and they are just sitting at an office, and that's their whole life. And to be honest, it's not the case, at least regarding me. And I'm very curious about all the social sciences and how we can reach people, and how we can connect people from the natural sciences as well, and from different culture, from different fields. And I really wanted to know how intercultural communication can be taught and can be learned in a scientific way, because I lived abroad as a student in Europe, and then I lived in the United States as a researcher. So I had a comparison. How is to live in a different culture when people really want you accepted, but you have a homesick and you go through all the processes of living abroad, you know, from the honeymoon phase through the negotiation until the adaptation, as we actually teach it as part of the course. So I guess it was one of the most important parts, and also it was extremely useful for my job, since Lotzi and me are working with Chinese students as well in a different program, and we faced many challenging issues. How to explain European cultural aspects in different situations, which was new to the Chinese students and it was new to us. And of course, we try to approach all the situations with empathy and with understanding each other's situation, but it was not always easy for us. And also, I think it was not always easy for the students. So we really, at least in my opinion, I really wanted to know how we can develop, or how I can develop personally in this aspect. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the biggest gain out of this, if I might add to what Tamás said, is to try to learn how to actually see the other's point of view. Because as Tamás had mentioned, in regarding you know, certain problems with Chinese students, maybe it is evident for us some things. It doesn't matter what we are talking about in particular, but maybe it is evident for us, for Hungarians or for Europeans, but it is not evident for them. So we had to actually start learning their point of view, and actually had to start to adapt of their way of thinking. So I think this is what I wanted to add to this. Okay, anyone else want to add to this question?
I would just like to react to what you just said, Lotzi, that we first learn about other cultures, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we adapt. And we adapt only by doing so, by communicating, by negotiating, by working together. That is how the brain shifts from a very restricted kind of mentality to a more open mentality. And I think by getting the students to collaborate, that is the kind of shift that is taking place. And that is what we're aiming for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. Okay, then if there is no one who wants to add another thing, then we should go on. So the next question, I think, should be, what do you think or what did your students gain from it personally? Obviously, you as a teacher, you don't necessarily know what the students gain because they don't necessarily as confidential with you as you know, to explain it to you, but maybe here the students can explain to us as a group. And obviously this can be asked from the teachers as well.
Hi, can I start?
Yeah.
Okay, hi, my name is Lexia. So what I gained from the Let's Talk program is first cultural awareness, intercultural awareness. I know how to better understand people from family, from work, or from friends, and to understand why someone from a different culture doesn't react to the same way than me, or everyone think, and or everything interacts with people interactions, or people in personal life or cultural interfere on it. So moreover, in this pandemic situation, it helped me to connect with other people, to be more open and to be more open on the board. And I could be more tolerant because we understood how everyone thinks differently, and how the diversity of thinking interacts with how we talk to people and work with them. So yeah, I gained personally lots of things from the Let's Talk program.
Thank you. Anyone else who want to join in on this question? Yeah, sure, Shaya, go ahead.
So it's me again. And for the answer to what did I gain from it personally, I must say that it made me understand myself in a deeper way, because now I understand from where my values and my preferences rise from, that there are some dimensions, core dimensions that reunite all human beings. And I actually can tell someone, why do I have this preference? Or I can understand why someone has such a preferences on such concepts as time orientation, as the perception of space, all these dimensions that we've learned in this crash course. And on another level, I gained some good friends from which I can have simple talks every time I need to. And on the practical level, it really enhanced my soft skills for breaking the cultural barriers and handling cultural clashes, because with the conferences that we held, and even like the small debates that we held during the course, we were really enabled to know how to understand the other's point of view and how to make the other understand your point of view.
Yes, I completely agree. This is actually, this is one of the hardest parts, to make other people understand your view. So this is I think the most perfect answer yet as of today. Anyone else? Maybe some of our teachers would want to add something.
Can I add something?
Sure, go ahead.
For me, it's this experience allows me to learn to adapt myself, to adapt my behavior, to communicate with other students, to work with them, to work with people from another country. And it allows me to improve my English too, and to learn new cultures, and to make new friends also. And I think the certificate we have at the end of this experience students will help me with the applications I will do for the masters, because it's a certificate that I participate to this program, to this exchange program, that I am able to communicate and to work with the people from another country, and that I have good skill in English.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else? Someone tried to speak before.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So first, I'd like to second what Shaya said. She said that it helped us understand ourselves more, and it's very true, because I think 70 to 80% of human beings is unconscious actions, and sometimes we don't know where those actions come from. They are just there, and this course helped us really see where they came from, see how our cultures, where we are from, and things like that really impact our unconscious behaviors. And yeah, also as someone who has two cultures, as a child of immigrants, I didn't really. I kind of had the feeling that my mother really taught me how to, and the school also taught me how to behave in the French culture, but I wasn't really taught how my culture was, how my parents' culture was, aside from seeing my families and how they interact, how different they are from here. I didn't really get to learn about my own culture, and this course really helped me, because I kind of choose this culture also because we had the French culture was really was more talked about, so it was a good experience to talk about my culture. So I had to really dig into to how my culture, my parents' culture is. It was really
yeah.
good
I want to react to Alexandre, what said Alexandre, and I felt exactly the same. Excuse me, with the two cultural thing. I think that I did more understand, or sometimes it could be difficult when I was raised to face two situations where parents was not from the same culture and didn't have the same values, and or to be raised as a child with two different things and point of views. And I think I really understood things for myself and for my two identities with this Let's Talk.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we can go for the next question, because our time is getting short. So the next question, anyone can join in as always. Do you feel that this experience and the certificate of intercultural awareness you received or will receive will be an important addition to your CV? And if so, how? No one? Oh, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Of course, it has a huge importance. Actually, nowadays we value soft skills as much as we value hard skills. If you're not able to participate in a teamwork, to have a good teamwork experience, you'll basically fail. Especially that now, for example, for the CV and the certificate for the company, the company, when they want to address a new product or anything, they need to customize it in order of what culture they are trying to sell for, and customize it on the basis of what these people value the most. So with having this experience, I'm pretty confident to say that I can analyze others' culture, not only the visible side of the culture, but also what makes them choose what they choose. And I think that this the company, when they want to recruit someone, or even in a master's degree or anything, they would really focus on this practical side of human connections.
Yes, I completely agree. It seems like you and I really much think alike. To add a little bit about this question, I think not necessarily the CV part is not necessarily the most important thing. Even if you wouldn't really indicate that you have this kind of certificate for your job in your CV, still I think the experience itself and the knowledge that you have gained and the empathy that you have gained from this, that you can actually approach things differently that maybe you would have done in like 4 months ago or a year ago, this could completely change your whole point of view. Not to mention that nowadays, globalization, multicultural companies and so on and so forth are more and more common. So even if you wouldn't necessarily have this kind of certificate, still with your experience, still with your previous knowledge about how to approach people and how to try to know them, I'm quite certain that you will be able to actually work with them that much better than you would have without it. Okay, anyone else? Yeah, Chila, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering if anybody wanted to comment. Any other students?
I think Gillian has raised his hand.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Gillian. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, so I wanted to say that personally, maybe this certificate won't have much importance in the next year. In the next year, since I'm not applying to anything abroad from France, but I think that maybe, so I'm willing to do research in the next years, and I think that probably since researchers most of the time have to go abroad and make postdocs in other countries and so on, I think that probably it will be a good point for my applications to say that I have already had an experience with students from abroad, and so I think that might be one of the good points of this experience for me.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Regarding this course, what can you say? What challenges did you face?
For me, the main challenge was to find the right time frame between the different universities so that we could organize the collaboration. So that was the main challenge. And also sometimes the challenge is for students to find a time for their video conferences. Usually those students who fix a definite time that they do it on a certain day at a certain time every week, they manage very well. Some students don't have this scheduling aspect, and so there are more problems around students who cannot fix a specific time. And also the challenge was doing everything online because we really wanted to do this face-to-face. So hopefully in the coming year, that will change.
Actually, Chila just said everything that I wanted to. But if I might add something here, for me, at least personally, I found it a very big challenge to actually pick topics for the courses. I mean, for the courses that we, with Tamás, taught. Because I think it is very hard to actually find topics that could be interesting to all those different nationalities, to all those different majors, all those different age students. And honestly, I'm not sure whether we succeeded here or not, whether they actually found these things interesting or not. But apart from the things that Chila said, I think this was the most difficult for me, thinking out topics that could be interesting regardless of what nationality you belong to.
Lotzi, I think we need to jump to the last question because then we will move on to the question and answer time. So if you could just deal with the last question, maybe.
Okay. So how would you convince someone who hesitated to join so far to actually join in? Yeah, Shaya, go ahead.
For me, I would like to convince basically my physics classmates. I would tell them that this course is the best way to disconnect from all the mathematical formulas and all the equations. It's like it's a way to escape all these stuff and have a good time. And also, I would say that they don't need only to focus on the quantitative side of the intelligence, because as we know, there are so many types of intelligence. And one of the main ones and the most important ones are emotional intelligence. So this is the best course to enhance your emotional intelligence.
Thank you. Thank you. True. Okay, anyone else? Yeah, sure.
Contrary to different types of English classes or academic, where you can really improve your social and oral skills, contrary to more academic classes of English teaching. It was really good.
Okay. So, anyone else want to add?
Maybe a teacher?
Maybe a teacher?
Yeah.
We haven't heard you for a while.
Yeah, I raised my hand.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see it.
That's okay. So regarding the last question, I just wanted to add one thing that for me, the most challenging to be a teacher in this project is honestly not to think like a lawyer, because all the time when we teach something or I see culture or I watch any traditions, it is so deeply embedded already into me that, okay, it is a custom which developed to a customary law, or what kind of effect it has, or what will be the sanctions if people do not do this in this culture, or how do you react in a way, or can you go to the court? So all the time these questions just come up into my head. And for me, it was so relaxing finally to talk about culture without trying to find a legal solution to each of the problems, just accept it as they are. And just be happy that, okay, if someone thinks that eating a half rotten egg like the Chinese do, or you want to eat spiders, you don't need to focus on the different, for example, law of transportation, how you can import and what will happen if there will be a storm on the sea, who will be responsible for that. Just accept that if people wants to eat spiders, they can do it, and it's okay. And I suppose it was the most challenging for me to switch this mindset, and that's for the last question. And regarding this one, what you asked, how would I convince someone? First of all, that I think that nowadays you just simply cannot avoid to be in an intercultural environment. You don't need to, as Gilan, I think you said that you don't plan to live abroad. You shouldn't. I think if anyone walked in Paris or in London or even just in Szeged, you would know that we have so many international students or professors who are visiting us, or just tourists, that basically you can just step in a situation when you realize that, okay, so they are from different culture and I need to explain what they want, how they can go to this way, or where do you go for shopping, which food is good or not. And I think this is something that you cannot avoid to go intercultural nowadays, especially in university towns or big cities. And also, I think that, for example, nowadays, when you have this pandemic situation, and also when I think politics try to divide us, like they always want to do, and this is part of politics, it's very good if we talk to each other. Because when I live, for example, in Lithuania, I live together with Turkish, Czech, Italian, French people, and we were Hungarian and also Slovakian for us. And we had one thing in common, that we love parties, and it's good because young people need parties. And the second one we were in common, but that we don't like if politicians try to divide us, because we have different mindset and we want to share each other how we want to work together. And how we want to live with each other. And I think that it is very good if we can learn how to make our point of view, as we discussed earlier, to others. And also, I think why it's good and how I would convince anyone to join this part, it's very easy. I have a good friend who, just like Curti, met a French, actually in her case, a French husband, and now they are happily married and raising a child. So maybe in a course like this, you can meet your future husband or wife in a course when you basically just wanna hop in and enjoy it. Okay, at least we can talk in English. So you never know what life brings to you, and you may have get more than you expect. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tamás, for your thoughts. And also, I would like to thank everyone who participated for today's roundtable discussion. Unfortunately, our time is up. I
think maybe we have time for a question or two. I don't know.
Really?
I think Shaya will be reading out the questions.
Yes, of course. The audience has asked 2 questions till now.
Okay.
So the first one is, what are the nationalities of the students that took part in the last talk?
I would like to answer that very quickly. I think I mentioned this in the presentation that I made. I can share my screen. So we had a lot of different nationalities, Hungarian, Russian, Romanian, Serbian, Arabic, Spanish, Portuguese, Turkish, Algerian, French, Mauritanian, the UK, and so on. So many, many different nationalities.
Indeed, it was very rich and diverse. And for the second question is, does the use of English help level out cultural differences?
Can you read it again?
Does the use of English help level out cultural differences? I'm not pretty sure of what the person means by leveling out.
I think we were not trying to level. We did not want to. The aim wasn't to make everything homogeneous. I think we were more in the mindset of cultural differences exist, and how can we accept people who do not function the same way as we do? So I think that was the main objective.
Indeed, I totally agree.
I think we are running over time, so Latsi, would you like to just close and then we will say goodbye? Okay,
sure. So then I now thank all of you for participating in this roundtable discussion. Personally, I'm pretty sad that this has ended so quickly and so fast, but hopefully we might be able to do something similar in the near future. So again, I thank you everyone who participated in it. Thank you for the viewers, and I think I will see you again sometime. Okay, goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you, everyone, for your contributions. Thank you very much.